YouTube Buttes, Scotty B here, and I'm going to give you into an insight of what happens when I come home with all my finds and exactly how I clean them. Because a lot of people have asked me how I clean my finds, how I get them so I can identify what I've pulled out. Because as you know, that with me, magnet fishing is only 50% outside on the water. The other 50% is here in my yard to find out exactly what I've got. That's why if I look at something and it's very interesting, it's coming home with me. And the reason why it comes home with me is because I think it's a treat. You know, sometimes it isn't, sometimes it's just a rusty bit of scrap. But the scrap gets put right there and then taken away. So either way, it's getting moved from A to B and then eventually off to C. See the scrap guy. Yeah. So I thought I'd treat you to this. So what I'm going to do first is show you exactly what I want to clean up, and then that gives you an understanding of what tools I need, and I will go through in depth of why I use them and why I use them on certain objects to give you an understanding. I do have an electrolysis video. I made my own electrolysis little tank, so it'll be up in the top corner about how to build one of them. But if you want to know more about electrolysis and you want me to do another video on it with an object that you see me pull out, please drop it in the comments and I will do that. But up to now, we have got a few items just to my right hand side or left hand side, depending on which way this video is going to be. But to my right hand side, I've got some objects, and I'm going to be using not very expensive stuff neither. You know, I don't go out and buy expensive stuff just to clean some scrap or treats. You know, I use everyday household items. So if not, apart from like my Dremel, which I bought, you know, there's nothing really that expensive. Anyway, let's crack on. So your views, as you see in front of you, is some plastic containers. That bucket there, I'll show you in a minute. We've got obviously the watering can to put clean water in. Different size buckets of what you want to clean stuff in. Okay, this here is what I use for my electrolysis with small objects or medium objects. And obviously you can top right of how I made that and how it works. But this here, you may laugh, it's just a cat litter tray. Obviously no cat litter was ever in it. It's just a decent size to put items in. Same again with a washing up bowl. I think that was $1.99. That was about 99p. This is a Haribo tub that we used for when kids go trick or treating. You know, it's nice depth that. And this is a Celebrations one, and this here is free rainwater that's collected, because I leave all my stuff outside, so if it collects rainwater we can use that. And then obviously if rainwater gets collected in there we can use it as well, but I have got an outside tap so I'm not running in every 2 minutes. Right, so I'm going to clear this away and we're going to have a look what's in the bucket. So in the bucket, what I use regular are my wire brushes. I'll tip all this out in a minute. Wire brushes, little scrubbing brushes, horsehair to get all like the fine dust off afterwards. I've got some clamps in case I need to clamp anything while doing cleaning it up. I've got some Brillo pads. See, these are all the little secrets I'm going to be teaching you. A bit of wire wool, brilliant stuff that. Little screwdriver in case I need to chip something off, and a little woodworking hammer. It's the only things that I use. Right, so I'm just going to put everything here now, what I normally use, and obviously there's spares in there. That's why everything is in one bucket. So the first and foremost, like I said, you've got the Brillo pads. They're great because they're good for scouring surfaces and getting off little tough patches. Say like we've used the Dremel and that lot, and that's good to brush things down because it's nice fine horsehair. When we've got the water and washing up liquid and that lot that I put in the warm water, we use that to scrub the actual item as well, so they're for scrubbing. We can use the scrubbing for that one as well because that is a fine one. And then when we come down to actually, when we've got all the item washed and like clean to a certain state, we get to see then which parts are rusty, which big bits are. So there comes along the hammer, and I'll do a demonstration with this in a minute, and then you just tap the rust off gently. If you get into a stage where you think it's going to break an item, don't bother using the hammer. This is where you do electrolysis, or you bathe it in a liquid and you don't bother doing any whacking whatsoever. If you've got little small objects that you want to hold, say like with a Dremel etc., or you want to say like money and that lot, you know, you can hold them with that. Needle nose pliers, I did find them in a canal, so I have repurposed them. And then we've got some wire wool, they're excellent with coins. And the thing that I've not got here that's normally in my bucket is WD-40, which I will bring out, and all will be revealed later on. And these have got different points on them, like that one, it's got a sharp point. So combined with that, you can knock little bits of rust off with that one. Same again with that one because that's like a flat end, and that's got more of a rounded. So between these three and that, you can get small bits of rust off. If you want to go straight to it and get big pieces of rust off with a hammer, go for the little flat screwdriver. Obviously not your best ones, don't use your best ones because they might break. Always wear gloves. And this is a cracking set. Stanley, I got this from B&M. And then what you've got is a rougher surface of wire brush, a lesser rougher surface. They serve different purposes of metal, and then obviously you've got a finer brush. There we are, nylon, brass and steel brush pack for cleaning, intricate work around the home, garden and workshop. These are what I live by. I've gone through so many packs of these. You can get these online as well. So that is roughly what I need to start cleaning an item up. So before you know it, all this will have gone and the item will be on the table. There we go, the item is here. So this is a big piece of metal that I found recently. That's something heavy here straight away. Okay, it's a big piece. Thought this were rope then, but it's just a bit of weed. And not that sort. Oh yeah, big shark's fin. And as you can see, you know, it's all coming away like that. So another good apparatus, if you have it at hand, as I do in my bucket, is a scraper. Yep, found this in the canal. I think I found this in where was it now? Newton Heath. Yep. So what you see in there is, because it's been out in the elements and been out of the water for so long, you know, it's become really crusty. So with this, you know, you can actually start getting to work on it. Start getting to work on the item. And obviously there's going to be stubborn bits, but what we're doing is we're just using everything that you can to get the rust off. Now do you see how they're little stubborn bits like that? You can go all day with that one. Right. But if you get your little screwdriver, now you can start lifting bits. I mean, you're not doing the whole of this with it, you're just chipping them stubborn bits away. Okay, that's all you're doing with this. You're not going mad with it. You just see these little stubborn bits. As you can see, I mean, you can use this as well because it dries. There we are. See what you're doing, you know what I mean? And then I can see what I need to do further. That bit's coming up a treat. That bit needs a bit doing, and it's more here, isn't it? But yeah, the horsehair brush is mint. So same again, we can see what we're doing. And then with a brush, give it a quick tickle over like that, you know what I mean? And then we're getting to see a different picture. Now, you can at this point, and what I will do next is turn it over, do the same to the next side, the other side, sorry, and then we'll give it a wash. Yep. So make sure you're happy with that, because remember, the only thing we're doing layers at a time. We're not just going to leave it like that, we'll get it layered. Same again, get it turned over. As you can see, stuff's really loose. So what you're going to do is work your magic. Brush, give it a quick tickle like that. See what's going on. Now you can see a tiny bit how that bit's dirty still, but we'll come to that in a minute. Let's get a bit more on there. If it's still being stubborn, use the hammer and get your little screwdriver just to chip them little tiny bits off. But I think this is working a treat. Same again on the edges. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is just a piece of metal. I don't know where it come from, what its use is, but normally I'm looking for something with names on. So under all this mud here, under all this, yeah, there could be something with an identification on. That's what I'm looking for. Right, so what I'm looking at, we'll give that a bit of a clean now. Okay, so judging on, yeah, I reckon, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with warm water and a bit of washing up liquid, and then we're going to give that a clean. So I'll be back shortly. Right, so it doesn't have to be a lot of water because we're not giving it a bath. All we're doing is scrubbing it down to see. Now normally I take my gloves off because I'm just going to have wet gloves then, so I might as well just have wet hands. But I recommend people using gloves, but most times I don't, but that's my preference. Put it that way so you can see. Right, so we do have different apparatus for cleaning and scrubbing, or you can get straight down to a wire wool. I'll show you the difference. Right, this are fine bristles, so that's just going to get the surface bit off. Wire wool is going to get all of it off. Like so. But what I normally do is I'll just do it as I normally do. Get my little brush. All we're doing is looking for if there's any markings on this. There probably won't be because it would have been showing by now, wouldn't it? As you can see there, we have scrubbed it down to its metal. We have got these little bits here. Now, if you're a bit of a perfectionist and you want them little bits off, this is where the big apparatus comes in. So it's alright to get this wet. Can you hear the difference? This is more thicker up here with crud than this part here. And as you can see by that, we'll get me a little watering can, get a bit of water on it, you know what I mean? And you can see that the area that you've scrubbed just then with this has come up nicely. So same again, you know, we can turn this around a bit now. We'll go straight for this. Very cost effective cleaning things up. As long as you paid your water bill, you're right. As you can see, this is where we've been going up and down. Some areas need to be scrubbed a bit harder. But you get the gist about how you clean a surface up. Now, some people might not be just happy with that, so you want to go a bit more in depth. This is where you leave it to dry, or dry it yourself with a towel, and then get the Dremel on it, or the sanding discs, etc. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just showing you how I get stuff for when I show you guys. So every time I go from, say, this picture of this to that now. You know what I mean? That's how we do it. So that is just with a bit of warm water, a bit of washing up liquid, a few tools. Let me move this out of the way now. A few tools here that you can get anywhere. Get all these in the supermarket. Getting this online DIY. I found that. I found them. I already had that. And I bought these. And it's pretty much got yourself set up there. So what I'm going to do is put a close up of all these, so then you can see which ones you need. I mean, this is just my opinion and option. You know, you could have a better one, or you have been struggling and this has helped you. But on every single item that I bring back, I clean it that way. Now I will show you, possibly in other videos, of how to clean other objects via different techniques, but for the time being this is how I clean stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and gives you a bit of an insight into when I get home. If I do it immediately, it's this. If I do it 3 or 4 or 5 weeks later, it's still this. So there you go, beauts. I hope you've enjoyed this. Take care.